Okay, now that we know how to write all those coins and we know how to write their value, just to review, here's that right here. Now we're gonna look at how do I count an amount of coins? Because maybe you're like me and you have a lot of change in your little wallet, right? Some change that you're saving up for something. So I'm gonna talk about how we're going to count an amount of coins. So let's start with just one type of coin. So I've got these 4 nickels right here. Okay, I know that they're nickels because I see the front and the back, and I see that it's a fairly large coin as opposed to something like this where I have like some small dimes and some copper pennies, right? So here's a nickel. I have 4 nickels. So what I'm gonna do is so let's write number 1. Let's write number 1. And I'm gonna draw my coin. So I always wanna start with the biggest coin. In this case, they're all the same, so it doesn't matter, right? I'm gonna draw 4 circles and draw ends in all of them to show that they are all nickels. Okay? And then, you know what some really great news is? Guess what? You already know how to skip count, so we don't even have to worry about practicing that because you already know how to do it, right? That's why we work so hard on skip counting by 5s and 10s, and we're gonna talk about quarters later. We'll know how to skip count by quarters. All right, so in this case, I'm gonna skip count by 5. So I'm gonna say that because I know that this is worth 5 cents, this is worth 5 cents, 5 cents, and 5 cents. So all I'm gonna do is skip count by 5s. I'm gonna say 5, 10, 15, 20 cents. And there's my answer. This is 20 cents. All right, let's look at another one. Let's look at one where I have maybe some nickels and some pennies. Okay, so I know these are nickels and pennies. I know these are pennies because they're copper. I know they're nickels because of the symbols that I see. Okay, they're different from the dimes. And they're much larger than the dimes. Okay, so let's think about what we do here. I'm going to say number 2. All right, and remember what I said, what do I start with? What do I always start with when I'm counting coins? I'm gonna start with the biggest coin, which is what on this card? Nickels. So I'm gonna draw 3 nickels. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna write in, and I know that these are all worth 5 cents, 5 cents, 5 cents, okay? And then I have 2 pennies. So I'm gonna draw 2 pennies. I'm gonna draw 2 circles and write P's in them. 1 cent is what that penny's worth, and that penny is also worth 1 cent. So now I have all my coins written. I'm gonna double check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coins, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coins, okay? So first thing I'm gonna do is skip count by 5s because that's my nickels, and then I'll start counting by 1s. So I'm gonna say 5, and 5 more is 10, and 5 more is 15. Okay, now I'm not adding 5 anymore, right? I'm adding 1. I'm gonna add 1 cent. So 15 and 1 cent makes 16. 16 and 1 cent makes 17 cents. And there's my final answer. That's how much that is worth. Because what I want us to avoid, guys, is doing something like this, saying 1 plus 5. Oh, what is 1 plus 5? 6 plus 5. Oh man, that goes over 10. I have to use a strategy. 10, 11. 11 plus 1 is 12. 12 plus 5. What's 12 plus 5? Do you see how skip counting is so much easier than that? So much easier. All I have to do is skip count by 1 type of coin at a time. And if I start with the bigger one, it's going to make my life a lot easier. Okay? So there's that one. Now let's look at some dimes. Okay, now I've got dimes, nickel, and pennies. All right, let's look. Oh, where'd my cap go? There it is. So let's look. Okay, so now I'm gonna write number 3. What am I gonna start with? When I'm counting coins, I'm always gonna start with the biggest coin, which is the dime in this case. So I'm gonna draw how many dimes? 1, 2, 3. Am I sure? Did I miss any? Nope, just 3. 1, 2, 3 dimes. I'm going to say dime, dime, dime. And then I'm going to say how much these dimes are worth up above, which is how much are they worth? 10 cents, 10 cents, 10 cents. Okay? What is the next largest coin? Would it be the pennies or the nickel? Nickels. I'm going to draw how many nickels? 1 nickel. And I'm going to put an N in there. And how much is that nickel worth? 5 cents. And then finally, the smallest coin, pennies. So I'm going to draw how many pennies? 3 pennies. 1, 2, 3 pennies. And I'm going to label them with P's. And I'm going to say how much they're worth at the top. They're all worth 1 cent. Now the fun part, skip counting. Okay, here we go. I'm going to skip count by what first? Tens. So I'm going to say 10, and this 10 makes 20, and this 10 makes 30, and this 10, oh wait, I'm not counting by tens anymore. I'm counting by fives. So now I'm going to do 30, and now I'm going to start skip counting by fives. 30, 35. But that was all. That's the only other nickel. Okay, so now I'm done skip counting by 5. Now I'm going to skip count by ones. 36, 37, 38 cents. There's my answer. That's how much it's worth. All right. Very good, guys. So next time we talk, we're going to talk about the quarter and how to count with a quarter. All right. Thanks for watching, guys.